First Contact and Invasion. Commander Maya Chen stood at the edge of the observatory platform, her eyes fixed on the night sky above the Rocky Mountains. As director of the Global Defense Initiative, she'd been summoned here in the middle of the night for what her chief scientist called an extinction-level discovery. The massive radio telescope behind her had detected something impossible: artificial signals coming from what appeared to be cloaked objects in Earth's orbit. "How long have they been watching us?" Maya asked, her breath visible in the cold mountain air. Dr. Raj Patil adjusted his glasses nervously. "Based on signal degradation patterns, possibly decades, maybe longer." Maya's military training kicked in, suppressing the primal fear that threatened to surface. Humanity was being observed by something not from Earth, and nobody had noticed until now. Why reveal themselves now? She wondered aloud. The answer came 3 days later when the sky above Beijing, Moscow, Washington, and Delhi simultaneously lit up with brilliant blue light. Massive ships, each the size of a small city, materialized in Earth's atmosphere. Global panic ensued as communication networks worldwide displayed the same message in every language. Your world is now under the protection of the Zirconian Alliance. Prepare for contact. Before governments could coordinate a response, a smaller vessel landed on the White House lawn. Maya was there as part of an emergency response team. The ship's hull slid open, revealing beings that appeared almost human. Tall, slender figures with iridescent blue skin and eyes that reflected light like mirrors. "I am Ambassador Theron," announced the leader, its voice melodic yet understandable through some form of translation technology. "We arrived not to conquer but to warn. The Krull Empire has discovered your world and will arrive within your month. They enslave developing worlds like yours. We offer protection, but require your cooperation." World leaders gathered in an emergency United Nations session where Maya presented her assessment. "These Zirconians seem genuine in their concern, but we can't blindly trust them. Whatever's coming, we need to prepare." Preparation time ran out sooner than expected. Just 2 weeks later, the Krull arrived. A fleet of black, angular ships that blotted out the sun as they positioned themselves around Earth. Unlike the diplomatic approach of the Zirconians, the Krull immediately attacked military installations worldwide. In orbit, the Zirconian ships engaged the Krull fleet but were outnumbered. Ambassador Theron contacted Maya directly. "The Krull underestimated your world's strategic value. They've sent more ships than anticipated. We cannot hold them all back." The first Krull ground forces landed near major cities. Humanoid figures in black armor twice the size of an average human, wielding energy weapons that reduced buildings to ash in seconds. Conventional military responses proved largely ineffective, bullets bouncing off their advanced armor. Maya coordinated from the underground GDI headquarters as reports flooded in. The situation seemed hopeless until something unexpected happened in the battlefields of Northern Europe. A Swedish Special Forces team, cornered and out of options, engaged in hand-to-hand combat with the Krull invaders. To everyone's surprise, the humans held their own. "Send me that footage again," Maya demanded, watching in disbelief as soldiers physically overpowered the alien invaders when their weapons failed. Dr. Patil analyzed the data coming in. "It's not just in Sweden. Reports from all fronts indicate the same thing. The Krull seem physically weaker in prolonged combat. They're technologically superior but physically vulnerable, especially in Earth's gravity and atmosphere." Ambassador Theron confirmed this observation. The Krull evolved on a low-gravity world. Their exoskeletons compensate, but Earth's conditions strain their systems over time. This is unexpected. Most species would be crushed by such conditions. "We're not most species," Maya replied, a plan forming. "We evolved on this harsh planet. It's home." She issued new orders worldwide. Engage the Krull in sustained combat, exhaust their systems, then strike with concentrated force. The strategy worked. Within days, human forces began capturing Krull technology and turning it against them. When a Crawl commander was captured in the ruins of Tokyo, Maya personally conducted the interrogation. The alien, smaller and gray-skinned without its armor, seemed genuinely afraid. "Your kind should not be able to fight like this," it hissed through a translator. "You sustain injuries that would incapacitate any rational species, yet you continue. Your soldiers fought with broken limbs, with blood loss that should induce unconsciousness. What are you?" Maya leaned forward. "We're humans. This is our home, and we've been fighting each other for thousands of years. You're just the newest threat we've had to overcome." Reports from Ambassador Theron confirmed that the Crawl fleet was regrouping, surprised by Earth's resistance. "The Zirconian Grand Council is impressed," Theron told Maya during an emergency meeting. "Few worlds resist the Crawl effectively. None have demonstrated your ferocity." "Is that why you really came?" Maya asked, suspicion rising. "Not just to warn us, but to see what we would do." Theron's mirror-like eyes reflected Maya's own image back at her. "The Zirconian Alliance needs allies who can fight. The galaxy is not a peaceful place, Commander Chen. And your species, you are uniquely adapted for survival under conditions most find intolerable. You want weapons," Maya realized. "You want human soldiers." "We want partners," Theron corrected. "The Crawl are retreating to bring a larger force. This was merely their first wave. We can provide technology, but you must provide the will to use it." That night, as Maya watched engineers reverse engineer captured Crawl weapons, a chilling thought occurred to her. Humanity had just announced its presence to the galaxy not as explorers or diplomats, but as warriors, creatures so adaptable and tenacious that even advanced civilizations found them frightening. The Zirconians offered schematics for shields and weapons that could be integrated with Earth technology. Scientists and engineers worldwide worked around the clock, adapting alien concepts to human application. What would have taken the Zirconians decades to implement, humans accomplished in weeks, not with elegant solutions, but with functional, sometimes crude adaptations that nevertheless worked. "Your species' cognitive flexibility is remarkable," Theron observed, watching human engineers modify Zirconian shield technology to work with Earth's power systems. "You sacrifice efficiency for speed of implementation. It's unorthodox." "It's human," Maya responded. "We make do with what we have." 3 weeks after the first attack, Earth's early warning systems detected the return of the Crawl, a fleet 3 times larger than before. But this time, Earth was ready. As the black ships entered the atmosphere, they were met with modified weapons that could penetrate their shields, and human pilots flying hybrid craft that combined Earth aeronautics with alien technology. The Crawl commander's voice thundered through all communication channels. "This primitive resistance is futile. Surrender your world or face extinction." Maya's response was broadcast worldwide and to the stars beyond. "We are humanity. We don't surrender. This is our home, and we're just getting started." As the second wave of the invasion began, people across Earth looked to the skies not with fear, but with determination. The galaxy was about to learn why humans were the most dangerous species they had ever encountered. Humanity unleashed. The second Crawl invasion force expected to find a weakened planet, easy to overwhelm with superior numbers. Instead, they found a transformed Earth. In just 1 month, humanity had adapted alien technology in ways neither the Crawl nor the Zirconians had anticipated. General Vex, Supreme Commander of the Crawl forces, watched from his flagship as the first wave of his attack craft were decimated by Earth's defenses. Human fighters moved with unpredictable patterns, taking risks no rational pilot would consider. Ground forces reported humans fighting through injuries that should have been debilitating, showing pain tolerance that defied biological logic. "These creatures," Vex muttered to his science officer, "they don't behave according to any known combat algorithms." "It's worse than that, General," the science officer replied. "They're learning our tactics faster than our predictive models can adjust, and they've improved our own technology. On the ground, Maya coordinated the global defense from a mobile command center. The Zirconians had provided technical knowledge, but it was human ingenuity that transformed theoretical concepts into practical applications. Dr. Patel had led a team that developed a disruption field affecting the Kral neural network, forcing them to fight as individuals rather than a coordinated force. The Kral evolved as a hive-minded species, Ambassador Theron explained as they watched enemy troops fall into disarray. They think collectively in battle. Your disruption field forces them into individual thought, something they find deeply disturbing. Maya nodded. We've always fought as individuals who choose to work together. That's our strength. Reports flooded in from around the world. In the ruins of Shanghai, Chinese soldiers wearing exoskeletons cobbled together from salvaged Kral armor engaged enemy troops in close combat. In the Amazon, Brazilian special forces used the dense jungle to ambush alien patrols, employing guerrilla tactics perfected over centuries of human conflict. Near Moscow, Russian engineers had modified Zirconian shield technology to create mobile barriers that advanced with their troops. The Kral, despite their technological superiority, found themselves overwhelmed by human adaptability. Their tactics, honed over centuries of interstellar conquest, proved ineffective against an enemy that improvised constantly and never surrendered. General Vex ordered his flagship to descend into Earth's atmosphere, determined to end the resistance by his presence alone. The massive black vessel hovered over the Atlantic, projecting a holographic image of the general above major cities worldwide. Your resistance is impressive but futile, his voice boomed. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. Yours will be no different. The response came not from world governments, but from millions of ordinary citizens who stood in streets and fields, looking up at the projection without fear. In New York, London, Lagos, and Tokyo, humans faced the alien threat not with panic but with defiance. Maya seized the moment. Launch Operation Thunderstrike, she commanded. Across the planet, modified satellites previously thought to be disabled by the Kral suddenly activated, generating an electromagnetic pulse specifically calibrated to the frequency of Kral systems. General Vex's hologram flickered and died as his flagship's primary systems failed, sending the massive vessel plummeting toward the ocean. Impossible, Vex growled as emergency systems engage. Their technology is too primitive for such precision. But it wasn't just technology that the Kral had underestimated. As their ships struggled to maintain altitude, they faced another shock. Human pilots on interceptors, flying directly into their weapon systems without hesitation. They're sacrificing themselves deliberately, a Kral tactician reported in disbelief. They're targeting our ship's critical systems with precision kamikaze attacks. Ambassador Theron watched the battle from the Zirconian flagship, transmitting data back to the Alliance. The humans have exceeded all projections, he reported. They're not just resisting, they're winning. In orbit, the remnants of the Kral fleet began to retreat. On their command channel, a message spread: disengage from the Terra system. These creatures are not worth the losses. For 3 days, humanity celebrated its victory, but Maya remained cautious. They'll be back, she told world leaders. And next time, they'll be prepared for our tactics. Ambassador Theron confirmed her suspicions. The Kral never abandon a conquest completely. They will return with new strategies, new weapons. Then we'll be waiting, Maya replied. And we'll be stronger. In the months that followed, Earth transformed. With Zirconian assistance, humans developed their first true interstellar vessels. Scientists who had spent lifetimes theorizing about faster-than-light travel now implemented it, modifying alien concepts to suit human needs. The Zirconian Grand Council formally invited Earth to join their alliance, but on terms no other world had ever received, as equals, not protectorates. When Maya traveled to the Zirconian homeworld as Earth's representative, she understood why. Your species terrifies them, confided Lysander, a Zirconian diplomat who had befriended her. The Council watched humans take weapons designed for zirconian physiology and adapt them overnight. They watched your soldiers continue fighting with injuries that would kill most species. You turned a hopeless situation into victory in weeks. We just did what we had to do, Maya said. That's precisely what frightens them, Lysander replied. Most species in the galaxy evolved in stable environments, specializing over millions of years. Humans evolved in a constantly changing world, forcing adaptability above all else. You don't realize how unusual that makes you. 6 months after the Krull retreat, long-range sensors detected a massive fleet approaching the solar system. Not just Krull ships, but vessels from a dozen different species. Maya prepared Earth for another invasion, but Ambassador Theron brought surprising news. It's not an attack, he explained. It's a diplomatic delegation. Word has spread throughout the galaxy about the species that defeated the Krull. They're coming to see these humans for themselves. When the alien delegation arrived, they requested not to meet with world leaders, but with ordinary humans, farmers, teachers, children, soldiers. They walked through rebuilt cities, observing how quickly humanity had recovered. They witnessed human medical technology, primitive by galactic standards, yet capable of healing injuries that would be fatal to most species. The delegation's leader, a crystalline being named Sentinel Prime, addressed the United Nations Assembly. For millennia, the galactic community has been dominated by species that evolve for specific environments and roles. Humanity represents something different, a species that evolved not to fit an environment, but to change it, to adapt to anything, to survive conditions others find intolerable. Maya listened from her seat beside world leaders as Sentinel Prime continued. Some fear this quality. The Krull certainly do. They have designated Earth a prohibited zone, too dangerous to approach. But others see potential. A new kind of alliance, where humanity's adaptability complements our specialized evolution. In private discussions afterward, Sentinel Prime was more direct with Maya. The galaxy has been locked in stagnation for centuries. Species like the Krull exploit those weaker than themselves. The Zirconians maintain order but lack the will to truly challenge the status quo. Humanity may be what shifts the balance. We're not interested in becoming galactic warriors for hire, Maya warned. Perhaps not, Sentinel Prime acknowledged. But your mere existence changes things. Already, worlds under Krull domination speak of the human resistance. Your adaptation of technologies thought unchangeable challenges assumptions thousands of years old. 1 year after first contact, Earth launched its first independent interstellar mission, a diplomatic vessel named Adaptability, with Maya commanding. As they prepared to depart, Ambassador Theron presented her with a gift, a holographic map of the galaxy with thousands of worlds marked. These are planets where species live under occupation or threat, he explained, worlds that need hope. Maya studied the map, feeling the weight of responsibility. So we're not just joining the galactic community, she realized. We're changing it. Precisely, Theron replied. The Krull Empire builds its power on the belief that resistance is futile. You've proven otherwise. In defeating them, you became something the galaxy hasn't seen in millennia, a symbol that the seemingly invincible can be overcome. As the Adaptability departed Earth, Maya composed a message to be broadcast across the galaxy. We are humanity. We come not as conquerors or saviors, but as neighbors who understand struggle and perseverance. To those who live under oppression, you are not forgotten. To those who rule through fear, we are not afraid. The message spread from world to world, translated into thousands of languages. On planets under Krull control, it was whispered in shadows. In the halls of galactic power, it was discussed with unease or hope, depending on one's position. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not as primitives to be conquered or patronized, but as a force unlike any other, adaptable, tenacious, and unwilling to accept that anything was impossible. The species that had spent its history fighting itself now turned its gaze outward, ready to challenge any who threatened their newfound place among the stars. the galaxy would never be the same.